What harebrained idiot would think of taking a scorpion and putting wings on it? I yelled, before yanking the bit in my jaw and sending up another cone of lead, shredding a buzzy, filmy wing and sending the insect scuttling along towards us, oozing green goo. To be fair, it's more like they gave a bloat sprite a stinger. Rampage squealed as she pounced atop the maimed bug, her 4 power hooves flashing and splattering me with its sludge. I don't care! I yelled, as more of the gray spherical bugs came flying out after us. Was there any end to these things? We'd found a lab with the walls and ceiling covered in their nests. One had stung P-21 right away, and now the rest were looking to finish the job. It's stupid! 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 I shouted, punctuating each stupid with another blast of buckshot. I didn't even have to aim. I just fired as quickly as I could down the hall and hoped enough shot hit. I'm more interested if you have any of that anti-venom Glory made, P-21 said weakly. Really interested? I ripped off another half-dozen shots as rapidly as I could, and Rampage squished the fallen bugs with the enthusiasm only a filly could muster. Reload! I bellowed, knowing the belt was almost spent. Rampage scrambled back, grabbed another belt of shotgun shells, and slammed it home. One condition! Condition? He said weakly. I'm dying of poison and you're giving me conditions. Loaded! Rampage yelled, then immediately sprang back to squash more of the Scorpio sprites. I ripped out 3 more shots. When we're done, you're going to tell Scotch, and you're going to tell her that you're her daddy. And you're going to say nice things about her mom, and you're going to hug her. Another 5 swarmed out, and I jerked the bit as rapidly as I could, the blast shredding their flapping wings, and a few were pulped outright by the impacts. And if I say no, he panted as he backed away, then I'll give it to you, but with a huge guilt trip attached, I countered. One arched high above its fellows and plunged towards me, its stinger oozing venom as it drove the poisonous spur at my eye. I swung my foreleg and knocked the head-sized bug aside. Rampage pounced upon it and popped it under her hooves. He didn't answer, and I looked back at him lying there unconscious. Cheater, I muttered. Rampage, antivenom! She leapt on my back and dug through my saddlebags again for one of the vials of antivenom that Glory had mixed ages ago. She poured it into his mouth as I blasted at the swarm. He stirred as consciousness returned just as the last few bugs were blasted and stomped. I blew the smoke away from my shotgun as I trot over to him, kneeling and helping him to sit up. You'll do anything you can to get out of talking with her, won't you? He looked at me, then dropped his gaze. I don't want to talk about it. Oh no, that might have worked a month ago when I was fresh and new to the wasteland, but now I'm a grizzled wasteland veteran and I'm not waiting for... There was a flash and I was knocked sprawling to my side, my head spinning. Rampage grinned down at me. Whoopsie. Sorry, thought I saw another Scorpio sprite, but it was just a big swelled head. She trotted over to P-21. Of course, a grizzled veteran of the wasteland would have seen that one coming. Once P-21 was back on his hooves, and the building stopped spinning, we found a large office with 2 identical desks, an enormous portrait of one of the brothers behind each. A counter along the far wall held dozens of different products made by the brothers, including a tiny model of the super speedy cider squeezy 9000. 2 skeletons wearing fancy business suits lay huddled together, surrounded by 4 suitcases. One had split open, spilling countless gold bits across the floor of the office. I saw a pair of tickets clenched in one brother's hooves and flipped them open. Poofington to Porca Porca. Departure time, 2 p.m. I patted the skull sympathetically. Should have gotten a morning flight. Rampage pointed at Flim's desk as P-21 started to work on Flam's terminal. Hey, Blackjack. Isn't that one of those figurine thingies you're collecting? For an instant, I imagined I heard 5 little ponies in my head gasp in excitement. Or maybe it was just me. There, smiling brightly at me, was the vivid purple figure of Twilight Sparkle. Slowly, I approached with a smile. Could it be? Was it possible? I carefully scooped it off my hooves and hugged it to my chest. At last! It's I frowned and pulled it away, looking down. A wide, cheesy grin met my eyes. Her pupils were different sizes and pointed in opposite directions. I'm an egghead, read the plaque. My eyes narrowed as I tapped the figurine's head, making it wobble and bobble around wildly. It wasn't a statuette, it was a cheap plastic knockoff. With a sour grunt, I chucked it into the garbage bin. P21 looked up from the terminal. Well, bad news. Looks like they erased everything on their computers, file-wise. But I also have some good news. He tapped a button, and part of the wall opened up to reveal an elevator car. What do you want to bet this elevator goes somewhere special? I grinned. I love smart ponies. Then I frowned. But you're still going to have to talk to Scotch. I mean it. He sighed. I know. I've been trying not to think about it. About everything I might have missed if she's dead. I've been a royal ass for putting it off for so long. We trotted to the elevator. Rampage put a hoof down and the car gave a soft groan. Whoa. What corners did they cut installing this thing? I had to admit, it looked like the elevator was definitely not built to the same code as the rest of the building. I snorted and stepped in. Okay, it was a little wobbly, but I needed to go down and had no doubt it would take me where I needed to go. It's fine. I'm not so sure it was even fine 2 centuries ago, P21 said sourly. He dug around in the desk and pulled out a yellow card. Look, we can just walk back down to the door. I rolled my eyes and started jumping. Look, it's fine. Just fine. Nothing's With a roar, the floor exploded beneath me, tossing me into the ceiling, which also exploded. I plummeted down the dark elevator shaft, and with a shriek of twisted metal, the elevator broke loose and plunged down after me. Ha! 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 Footnote: maximum level reached.